Hello everybody and welcome back to Prehistoric Kingdom and Paleo Springs State Park, and welcome back to potentially the last episode of the Morrison Formation Mini Series for a while at least. Now this video is probably going to look a little weird, or it's going to start a little weird. If you haven't been following the channel, been following the Paleo Springs series that I've had coming out for a few months now actually. This is episode 17. It's kind of hard to believe that, you know, we're already here, but what I'm building here is we are building a massive enclosure, specifically I think actually the most massive enclosure that we've built in the park so far. And this is for, you can see right here I have as a scale size reference the Brachiosaurus, or Brachiosaurus, however you want to pronounce it. And this enclosure that you see here, I am kind of cheating because I'm using something that I've previously built. So if you want to see how I built this, go watch the Brontosaurus video. That's actually one of the better videos that I have on the channel, or for this series, I believe, because we actually have a guest speaker in that one. So if you haven't gone and given it a watch, definitely go do that, because the guest speaker that I have for that is really wonderful, and she talks about the bone wars in there, which relate exactly specifically to the Morrison Formation. It's a really interesting video, but this is the backstage enclosure for the Brontosaurus. And what you guys didn't see me do off screen was I actually raised it up. So I made it kind of small in that initial video, and what I ended up doing off camera was raising it up about 8 meters, I believe, so that when the Brontosaurus rears up on its hind legs, its head doesn't clip through the top. Now obviously the Brachiosaurus is a lot bigger than the Brontosaurus is, and we actually put in this habitat too at the end, we put the Apatosaurus in here. So I did want to have both versions, the Brontosaurus and the Apatosaurus, again, however you want to pronounce it. I wanted to have both of them here in the park because personally I'm partial to the Apatosaurus, but I know many of you, you voted very heavily in two different polls, one here on YouTube and one over on Reddit, for that Brontosaurus episode, that you wanted the Brontosaurus. And so again, I wanted to give that to you all, but again, I'm partial to the Apatosaurus. I really like it, so I wanted to add it here in the park. And I'm not entirely sure if we're going to keep it here in this habitat, but again, this backstage enclosure here, I made a little bit taller for the Brontosaurus initially, and then you saw me at the beginning of this video, I had to raise it up even more because the Brachiosaurus is even taller than both of those dinosaurs when it rears up on its hind legs. But I think this turned out pretty well, and you know what you see me doing here is I am building a stairway up. So to distinguish this a little bit from that Brontosaurus backstage enclosure or housing unit, whatever you want to call it, I wanted to add a viewing deck in here. I thought it would be really cool if you sort of got up to eye level, quote unquote, with the Brachiosaurus. So you walk up these steps, these are a lot of steps here, but you walk up them and you know you get to a point up top where you can see the Brachiosaurus in here resting. You can see them you know, in their night enclosure basically. And you know, a lot of zoos do this. They have it for giraffes specifically. I believe Animal Kingdom actually has one too, where you can go and do a special tour of the hoof stock backstage area, and you can see the hoof stock animals that they have there, the giraffes, the rhinos, the zebras, antelopes, things like that. But yeah, I am kind of stealing that idea from some real zoos, and then we're adding a path here to kind of connect it up. And I wanted this foliage in here to be really, really, really dense. And I know a lot of you, again, in the Brontosaurus video, had some very specific thoughts, I'll say, on the density of the foliage. Now, because this is not in the enclosure, I want to have this super, super, super dense so that, if you're walking along this path, you don't really see that backstage area, or you don't see it as much as you probably would if you were just walking along and it wasn't forested. Now, I do end up adding quite a bit of foliage inside the habitat as well inside this one. Once we get closer to the end of the speed build, you'll see that portion. But yeah, I added a lot of foliage in here just because I wanted it to look naturalistic, and for this series, this mini series specifically, for the Morrison Formation, I wanted it to look like you were taking a slice out of paleo art, like you were taking a slice out of the Morrison Formation and throwing it into a state or national park. And obviously this is going to be made even more incredible once we get the paleobotany in update 15. So for those of you that haven't been keeping up with the update track, we're working towards update 14 right now in this game. And when that comes out, that's the big one with the baby animals, baby dinosaurs, things like that. A lot of people are really, really excited for it. And actually, at the end of this video, I pre-recorded the live portion of this, or the live play, and that's actually in the public test branch. So I'm not going to be making a video about the public test branch because stuff is changing all the time, and I know a lot of YouTubers out there have already made videos on it, showcasing, quote unquote, all the baby animals that you can see in Prehistoric Kingdom, and super clickbaity titles like that. I'm not going to do that on my channel. I want to wait until the update is actually out and is fully released for everybody. Then we'll do a showcase, of all the baby animals, some of the new pieces that are in here, some of the new stuff, that we have to work with. But yeah, anyway, what you're about to see me do here is try and really, really fail at building a elevated platform. I, spoiler alert, end up caving in and using one that the game offers, and there's actually a portion in here in this speed build area where you'll see the video kind of cut, and that's because again, I really failed. I really whiffed it, and I tried to go on the Steam Workshop and actually download one on there. There's a lot of really great stuff on the Steam Workshop, and I'm not impartial to using that stuff. Again, the buses that we have at the entrance of the park, those are from the Steam Workshop. And if you watch the video that I have where we build the parking lot, or I think it's the third episode in this series, I don't know, a lot of this stuff's blending together now, but if you watch that video, it'll show you that that I used that bus from the Steam Workshop, and I cite the source in there as well. To again kind of jump ahead here, I didn't actually end up using one of the elevated platforms from the Steam Workshop for this blueprint, just because I didn't want to have an extra link in the description of my video. I know, very, very lazy, but I did end up using one of the ones that Prehistoric Kingdom, the team, actually made. So it is in the vanilla game, and any of you can go and download it. Or actually, you don't have to download it. It's already in the game. So I again wanted to make this super, super accessible. But I will be, of course, throwing the link to the Brachiosaurus holding enclosure in the description below, so you can go and download that if you want. Again, if you're new to this series, I do that with all of the blueprints that I do end up making. In actuality, I throw them all in the description below, so you all can go and download them. I want all of this stuff to be super easily accessible by everybody, and have everybody use this stuff that I've made for your own part. Here, again, you're seeing me try and fail at building another elevated platform here. But yeah, so, enough talking about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Brachiosaurus here. And I've always loved the Brachiosaurus, specifically, probably mostly, as many people have that play this game, because of Jurassic Park. And it holds a special place in my heart, that dinosaur does, specifically because, again, of Jurassic Park and that scene that I'll try to throw in here, when Dr. Grant says, or when he's in the tree with the kids, and the one kid, the little boy, I can't remember his name, but he says, look, they're vegisaurs.
Go away!
It's okay. It's a brachiosaur.
It's a vegisaurus, Lex. Vegisaurus.
And they basically trying to lull his sister into believing that just because they eat vegetables, they eat leaves on trees, that they're actually gentle giants, gentle dinosaurs. And there's no reason to believe that Brachiosaurus wasn't a quote-unquote gentle dinosaur. It may have been, more or less one of the more gentle giant dinosaurs that we see in the Triassic or the Jurassic time period. And again, for those of you that don't know, again, that are kind of new to this mini series or new to the channel, the Morrison Formation is a Jurassic formation. So all of these dinosaurs here truly are a Jurassic Park dinosaur. So the Brachiosaurus is actually one of the ones that is correct for being in Jurassic Park. It is a Jurassic dinosaur through and through. It lived only during the Jurassic time period, whereas some of the other dinosaurs were overlap into the Jurassic and Cretaceous. But the T-Rex is Cretaceous, Triceratops Cretaceous, Stegosaurus is a Jurassic dinosaur. So they don't have that one in the game, but that's actually another very famous Morrison Formation dinosaur. And when that is added, we are absolutely going to be adding the Stegosaurus into the park here, into this Morrison Formation area that we have. But yeah, this is absolutely by far one of the largest exhibits that I have ever made in this game. And that's simply because the size requirements for the Brachiosaurus are so absolutely gargantuan. And that's not a bad thing. I think that more dinosaurs should be given more space, and I know I have been guilty in the past in my videos of not giving the animals quote-unquote enough space. I give them the space requirements that they have in the Paleopedia, in the sort of this is the bare minimum of space that they have. And so I'm thinking now we are actually going to go back and redo a lot of the Cenozoic era dinosaurs, or not dinosaurs, mammals that we have in the park. The woolly mammoth, the Megaloceros, the saber-toothed tigers, things like that. We're going to go back through and redo some of those and give them a little bit more space. I think we should give them the space that they properly deserve. I'm adding in a restaurant here into this area. I have this big plaza that I created, and I really, really like how this turns out. You'll see in the live play portion again, because it's the public test branch, we're actually playing around with that first person camera mode that they have in the game. So super excited for that when that comes out. When you're watching this, it's going to be like 2 weeks, or when this video comes out, if you're watching it then, it's going to be like 2 weeks until that update comes out. So that's going to be incredible. Let me know, again, I mentioned this at the end of the video, but let me know in the comments if you want me to do a walkthrough that Friday after. So that update comes out the 24th, April 24th, which is a Thursday. Do you want the video that Friday to be a first person tour of the park? I was kind of hoping that these tours, would be every 10th episode. So this is, video 17. An update, or video 20 is when we would do a tour of the park, just because, it kind of space it out and give a lot of room there to do some stuff. But I think this Morrison Formation area here is large enough to kind of warrant a tour of the park. So yeah, let me know, what do you think in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts there on what you want me to do for that. So yeah, anyway, jumping back into this, we're putting some rocks in here, just putting the hardscape in before we do any of the foliage here. And again, if you're new to this series, one of the things that I mentioned in some of the previous videos is that during the Jurassic, during this time period, there was no grass. So I'll actually link down to a couple of videos. Again, you can go back in my other videos in the Morrison Formation Mini Series and look and see some of those references as well, but I'll try to link some different ones down below. But yeah, there was no grass during the Jurassic, or the grass that there was so small and minimal. So one of the things that I really wanted to do here is make this look sandy and dirty and really try to get rid of as much grass as I could. And instead of using grass as the ground cover for this habitat here, we actually use the ferns from the coastal biome here, which, all of these animals are quote unquote coastal biome animals, so they love these redwood trees and all that kind of stuff. And I really wanted to try to give it that scrubland coastal feel that I think the Jurassic really would have had pretty much everywhere. And so this is going to be a little over foliated, more so than people probably like. But again, you see me going in here with the ferns. We're actually using, I think it's called the fern forest, where there's some of these taller ferns in here, and those are really, really great. I don't really go in with the pine trees in here, but what I do end up using is this scrubland foliage, these scrub pines in here. And I love that because it really contrasts the whole area and makes this feel a lot more open while still having that foliage be tall enough for, say a Brachiosaurus or an Apatosaurus. What we do know from these two dinosaurs, though, from Brachiosaurus and Apatosaurus, is that they would have lived in more, not grasslands, that's not the right word, but more plain-like areas of open fields where, there wasn't a ton of foliage, but there were tall trees, tall trees for them to feed on. And so that's pretty much what I try to do here is just recreate that. But yeah, I'm running out of time here, so I'm gonna leave you guys off here, and we'll talk more about all of this in the live play in honestly just a couple of minutes. So stay tuned for that, or fast forward to the timestamp below, whichever you choose. But yeah, continue watching. All right, everybody, so we are back here in the live play, and this is actually the public test branch for the beta of the new update that's coming out at the end of the month. So you all have probably seen a lot of videos on the public test branch as it is right now. You know, the problems, the pros, the cons, but I wanted to come in here to go into this first person mode. Oh my God. I'm speechless. This is literally everything that I wanted. So when I built this habitat, the idea that you could be standing here and see a Brachiosaurus going through the tree line and just coming, you know, right to the fence, that is exactly what I hoped for. And the Apatosaurus here walking to the back. Let me know in the comments, do you all like the Apatosaurus? Wow, this person is so sad. Do you all like the Apatosaurus in this enclosure, or do you like it? Would you want me to build a habitat specifically for the Apatosaurus? We're walking through here though, just to see this habitat. I could not be more happy with how this turned out. I know that some people are gonna say that it's too forested, it's too there's too much foliage for animals this big, and you're right. We are going to go back through and go in the next episode and go back over some of the exhibits, namely the Brontosaurus exhibit. You all had some very specific comments on that video and over on the Reddit on how it shouldn't be so forested over there. In that, let me actually see. We'll go over here, and I put in as well, for you all to see, I put in the Carmarasaurus. This was always my original plan, was to have the Brontosaurus and the Carmarasaurus here in the habitat together. And I really like this. I like this change, but of course, let me know. Do you all like this? Do you think that we should add the Carmarasaurus into a habitat of its own? The Apatosaurus, I like that it's in here. Again, we kind of made this like open plains. I think if we ever get Diplodocus in the game, that would actually be a much better fit in here than the Apatosaurus is. But I love how the Brachiosaurus is just towering over everything. And I mean, that's just incredible. I love this. I love this. This to me, this is why I play this game. The feeling that I got when, well, we'll do it again. The feeling that I got when I jumped into first person and you just see the Brachiosaurus here, just in all of its glory, all of its majesty. There's the moon. Actually, is that correct? It looks correct to me. But yeah, I mean, you know, just seeing these animals in all of their glory here. We'll go up and we'll see an Apatosaurus. This is just so awesome. This is so cool to be able to see. I don't know if they did the interaction yet with it, but I think in the future, when this update is fully out, you'll be able to go in and like Zoo Tycoon 2 style, change out the feeders and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, just to be able to see the scale of the Apatosaurus or the Brachiosaurus here, to be able to say, yeah, you could absolutely just walk straight under a Brachiosaurus just like that. You know, that's unreal. Or, you know, the idea that let me see if I can get over here kind of quick. The idea that, you know, I could be guest level view and see inside their hatchery and see what the guest sees. I mean, it really just brings a whole nother level to this game and to the park as well. We're gonna be doing, I don't know, it won't be the next video that comes out. It might be the video after that, where we do a full tour of the park in first person mode. I was gonna wait until episode 20, because we did a tour at episode 10 of this park, and I think that was a good call. I originally wanted to do a tour every 10th episode just to kind of see where the park is, see how it's turning out and everything. But I think we've done quite a bit, especially with the whole Morrison Formation area. I think with this episode sort of being the quote unquote conclusion for now of the Morrison Formation campsite here. Oh God, I mean, just look at this. Look at that. That's exactly, yeah, that's what I wanted. You know, imagine you're camping in here and you just wake up in the middle of the night and you just hear the bellowing roar of a Brachiosaurus, and you look off and you see this Brachiosaurus here off in the background, off in the distance there. You can see this building, and honestly, I'm not torn up about it. I think that it's not unrealistic to see this Backstage building, especially for an animal this absolutely gargantuan. I think you would have to see that building, or at least some of the buildings in there. Let's see how this looks over here with the Brontosaurus and Carmerosaurus. Can we see any? Oh yeah, you can kind of see them in there. It's not the best, but you can definitely see them in there. Yeah, so let me know again your thoughts in the comments. Do you think we should do a first-person tour when the update drops? Do you think we should wait until the 10th episode or the 20th episode in this series? Because there's still more things to come. We're not gonna fill up this whole map, but we are gonna fill up a good majority of it to where it's pretty much unrecognizable from the base game map. So let me know, what do you think? Do you think we should do it right after the update drops, or again on the 20th episode? Let me know that. Again, let me know if you think if the Apatosaurus, if we should make a separate enclosure for it somewhere, you know, over here or wherever, or should we leave them in here with the Brachiosaurus? Oh my God, they are drinking. Okay, so I was gonna end off the video, but really quick, I was unsure if the animals still drank from the water in here, because ever since they came out with the update for the water dishes, that again pretty much are in every single habitat that I've built here. Try to find one. There's one in here. I'll show in here. These water dishes, ever since they came out with them for this for that update, I haven't seen the animals drink from water sources. So that's incredible to see that they are actually drinking from this ravine, this what's it called, river here. Yeah, anyway, I'm rambling once again, as usual. I'm rambling. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you've made it this far in the video, I just want to say thank you. There's a million things you could have been doing today, and you chose to spend a little bit of that time here with me and watch me build this habitat that is now the largest enclosure, the largest habitat that we have here in the park. So yeah, I thank you so much for that. Thank you for making it this far. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Again, once again, I've had a long day at work, so I'm recording this as soon as I got home. If I'm rambling and it's annoying, I do apologize. But yeah, that is all that I have here for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Take care for now.